Dee 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 dee. Keto living is the life for me. Coffee, cooking, and recipes. Spending my days with my doggies. So be a sport. Set your alarm for Wednesdays for the Warden's Report. Welcome to the Warden Report. Good morning. Having a Dutch. So good, y'all. So Heath went and got that for me today. How is everyone doing this week? What's been happening? What are you looking forward to? Like, with it already being April, like, what? What do you have planned coming up? I know Easter seems so late this year, doesn't it? I'm like, was it April 20th, I believe? Yeah, April 20th. That just seems so late. But, sorry. My manager just messaged me, so I gotta make sure. Okay, good. Okay, nothing bad. Okay, so welcome again. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help. I would love to get to 2,000 before the year end. Excuse me. So anyway, y'all can help us. Some of the easiest ways is making sure you give this video a thumbs up. Just go ahead and do it right now. Like anytime I watch any YouTube video, the first thing I do is hit the thumbs up. Do you do the same thing? And then, leaving us a comment, because that's what YouTube is like. Okay, look, there's lots of thumbs up and comments. So, hey, you might be interested in this video too. So it suggests the video more, the more likes and comments that I get. So if you could please do that. Other ways to help that are free is hit that share button. Share it on there. Maybe if you think I have a little words of wisdom, or if you just think, come look at this chick and laugh, or come look at her like crazy. Either way, that is fine. So those are the best ways of getting us out there. And then, yeah, so we have a lot to go over this week, y'all. So I am going to share a couple things with you. First, let's do some nonsense chat. Really nonsense. I mean, 1 second, and we're going to talk nonsense. Somebody is being needy today. Of course, now he walks away because I turned the camera on. He's like, never mind. But he keeps nudging my arm, y'all. Dinner tonight is basically some roasted veggies. So I did Brussels sprouts, bell pepper, onion, jalapenos, mushrooms, added tomatoes at the end, and I got some discounted chili meat. So I just kind of cooked that up with our beef rub and mix this all together, and some cheese. Okay, first nonsense, if they would just stop messaging me. So, is pickles, right? I love pickles. I love sour. Sour's probably my favorite, followed by sweet. And then savory's last, right? So I love sour things. But this is what ticks me off about sour stuff. So I noticed that, like today, Heath went to Dutch, and they released on April Fool's Day, but not as a joke, thankfully, because don't get me all started on the April Fools. I'm tired of companies sending commercial jokes. I really am. Like, I'm done with it. Like, I don't care. You think it's funny. You're making some kind of crazy flavor or crazy item. Like, I just stop. It's not funny anymore. At least it's not funny to me. And I know some of you have expressed the same sentiments to me. It's just not funny. Just stop clogging up my email and my text with your stupid prank, you know? But anyways, so but they said this is not a joke, right? They were like serious. And in fact, they were so serious, I already put it away. They made the first sticker, which is released on Wednesdays, is a little pickle, right? It's so cute. So then they had this pickle uh freeze that you could get, and now starting today you could add sour shots, but not sugar free. Why do sour things have to have sugar in them? It annoys TF out of me because I love sour, but they always want to add so much sugar or any sugar to it. And I feel like if it's really sour, I don't want the offset of something sweet. Like, I want that sour. I want my mouth to pucker. But when you add the sugar, guess what? I only taste sugar, and it's not sour. Does anyone else feel this way? Like, I just get so mad because it's like, well, I wanted to try the pickle freeze. I want to see what it tastes like. Oh no, it's got sugar. I'm like, and there's sour shots that you could add to a sparkling soda, which is just carbonated water, also has sugar. It's not sour then. It's sweet and sour. It's not the same as sour. And I know Laura Renee will fill me on this as well. They do the same crap to spicy foods. All the time, I will go somewhere and it will say, oh, this is, spicy, or this is the hottest freaking thing. And I'm like, oh, I am so excited. What is, like a hot sauce? Oh, this hot sauce is so hot. Ah, you're going to like scream. Your head's going to rip off and all this stuff. And then the second ingredient is sugar. Sorry, that's not going to be that spicy because you added sugar. And it just annoys me. Why? Like, what? And when I've talked to, like, you go to farmers markets, and I've talked to, usually it's hot sauce. Sometimes it'll be like pickled stuff that they'll say it's like spicy pickles, and then you look sugar. And I'm like, and it's not low on the list. It's like second or third ingredient. And I'm like, why do you add the sugar? And they'll just tell me, well, it helps offset, or, kind of makes it not so spicy. And I'm like, but you're claiming that this is the hottest freaking thing. So why are you trying to downplay it? Why? Tell me. I don't want it. Stop trying to. The people who need it offset aren't buying something that says, anal killer. That, sorry, Coda's gonna look at that and just be like, I don't care if half of it's sugar. I am not buying that. Like, so stop. You're people that like it so freaking hot, like Laura, Renee, and I. We want it we want the full spicy effect. Stop adding sugars to your sours and your spicy foods, please. So that's my no nonsense. Or my nonsense for today. So I'm excited to read your comments. Second thing, I was thinking about sharing this. So I watch a few channels that kind of talk about either MLMs, or direct marketing is the new term they try to use, or, like the truth behind influencers, and kind of anti-consumerism, and talking about, basically the psychology around what makes you want to spend money, and then, tips on, how to do that. And I have a few channels that I watch, and it's interesting. Like, some of these MLMs I don't hear of. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a shopper. Okay, now I know some of you love to shop. You love to go to like thrift stores, or TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all those places you love to look and look and look and shop. I've never been a shopper. My mom was a shopper, so I think that's why I'm like never been into it. I'm very much okay, I need this, so that's what I'm gonna buy. And not oh, let's see, what do I want? Because that bothers me. Um, so I enjoy these channels, and I could go into more of them if you want to know who they are. But it's just I've heard like some of these MLMs, I'm like, and then like she will talk about the one I know a lot is Hannah Alonso. Let me know if you follow her, but she's very anti MLM, and she will explain how they're entrapping you, how they're using certain things to basically prey on people to get you to believe this stuff. Another one I like is Kiki Chanel. These, they have a lot of followers, so you might follow her too. So just, and then they kind of talk about some of the influencers. Most of it is people on like TikTok or Reels. So it's just interesting to me. Again, a lot of these companies, no idea. I watched one today all about makeup, and like that's obviously where I spend all my money. But and I was like, because they were talking about, yeah, if you buy this, like this influencer's trying to get you to spend like $600-700, and I'm like, first of, like, really, you like makeup. I see that's how little I use makeup, because like she was talking about, oh, some eyeshadow is $55, and I'm like, 55 for a palette? Um Again, I'm not a makeup person, so to me that just is like outrageous. And then they were talking about some kind of hair dryer. That's $500. Girl, like 500 on a hair dryer? I just, no, I can not. Like when she was talking about it, I was like, oh, it sounds pretty interesting. Like, this influencer really loves this hair dryer, and she's talking about it and everything. And then when I think that one was Shauna, I think that's her name. I lost it. I already watched it. But anyways, I was like, $500? Like, no, I cannot. Like, I would have went there and I would have been like, for a hair dryer? 500, like that thing. I better only have to hit an on button and it does everything for me. Like, I mean, things have gone up, but 500, like, I guess to me, I don't think I've ever paid more than $20 for a hair dryer. Now, granted, the one I currently have is probably 20 years old, y'all. So again, I mean, you can probably tell, like, you see me, I am not like these perfectly aesthetic, fully make-up hair type people, right? I'm just me, right? My hair's not always looking the best. I don't wear makeup most of the time. I mean, I'll put some lipstick on when I go out, and sometimes, I'll put mascara, like if I have a date with Heath, because I know, like, my lashes just blend in, right? Man, when I was a blonde, so some of you have asked, are you a natural redhead? I'm naturally dirty blonde, so it's basically all the colors mixed. But with my fair skin, like, you just didn't see me. I was just like bland, the whole thing. I just, if people would take a picture of me in a crowd of people, you wouldn't be able to find me because I just blended in, right? So that's why I enjoyed the red hair. I've done black before, which I like black, but I look very emo because I'm so freaking fair. If you haven't met me in person, I am like that. I get the lightest shade a foundation, and it's sometimes still not light enough. Very, very fair. But so that's why I went with red. I liked red the most because black, yeah, there was a lot of nothing wrong with emo. I like emo and stuff, but I'm not doing the whole. To me, that's still a lot of effort. So, anyways, so yeah, when I hear things $500 for an hair dryer, I'm just like, people are buying, like, tell me. Okay. And there's other things, and I know that there's stuff out there. I think a lot of things I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to spend that kind of money on, either small appliances or anything like that. I really debate over things. Uh, and I feel like, I can't say I never spend money because I do. Like, I got those flip flops, which I freaking love. And that was some money. But again, I feel like I'm more of the person quality over quantity. Like a long time ago, you learn these lessons, right? When I was a teenager, backpacks, right? Whoa, we're really going back. But anyways, like in middle school, it was like I would get, a cute backpack or a nice backpack, something kind of cheap. We're going in the 90s, right? So it's like, okay, backpack was, $15 or $20, and you're like, oh, I hate to spend that. But I would get it, and then it would start tearing like within a couple of months. And so then I would have to buy another one, and sometimes another one, right? Because they just didn't last. And then I heard other people, I would say, growing up, I guess it is still now, just your run-of-the-mill middle class area. But I would say we were on the low end of middle class. Probably not, especially when my parents divorced. We were definitely not middle class at that point. But anyways, but a lot of the kids at school, were middle class or above, so they would have these things, and they were having JanSport. Shout out, hashtag JanSport if you remember those. And when I asked, they were like, oh yeah, and I would notice that they would use the same backpack year after year, and I'm like, this back when people actually reuse things. Yeah, if you're new, if you're young, if you're under 35, you probably don't even understand that. But back in my day, in the late 1900s, we reused things until they broke, or at least that's how I've always been. And I think most people were like, they weren't getting a new backpack every quarter. Is like, okay, you got a backpack for high school. That'll last you through high school, kind of a deal. So they were like, yeah, JanSport, yeah, they're supposed to be known. And then I, researched before you had like Google at the tip of your fingers. So I researched as best I could and found out, yeah, JanSport is supposed to like have these. I don't even know if it was money back guarantee, but basically they guaranteed their backpack was virtually indestructible. But it were like $80. Maybe it was $100. It seemed really high. But I was like, okay, I saved up. I was like, I'm gonna save up. I'm gonna get that. Because if it really does, and that's the only one I have to buy for all of high school, that'll be great. Saved up, got it. It's probably somewhere in this house now. Like, it lasted all through high school and college. I used it, so it was well worth the money when you think about it. This when I first kind of learned, okay, say it cost $100, which is a lot of money for, a 15-year-old at that time to come up with. But instead of spending $20 2 or 3 times a year, which in the long term, over 4 years, that's a lot more. That's $200 at least over 4 years versus only spend $100 and this will last me all 4. So that's kind of when I first learned the lesson of quality over quantity. And so I still kind of do that now. Like if I buy something, I want to know it's made to last. So like when I got those flip-flops, was told they would last. Well, look, they lasted 4 years, and I could still wear them now. I just know they're at the point where one of these days I feel like I'm going to be out walking and it's just going to flip off. And if you've ever had flip flops, that's like the worst thing ever when you are out and a flip flop fails. So I was like, okay, that one lasted 4 years, then it's worth the money to me, even though they're $80, $90. If it's gonna last 4 years, that is well worth it. That's like equivalent to 4 cheap pairs of flip flops that will probably fail and not last, and all kinds of problems. So that's what I do. Let me know, how are you on that? Are you more of a quality over quantity person, or, and no shade, I mean, I know everybody is different. That's why, like, when I listen to these different channels, that there are people who are like, they see a short or a reel or TikTok and they're like, oh, you gotta buy this. They're like, okay, I gotta buy it, they told me, and they just go and buy it because somebody that they feel is trustworthy told them it's worth it to buy this now because it's $500 on sale, and you're like, okay, I can spend it. And it's like, okay. So let me know if you're just like that, or if you're, I'm just a person that's like, okay, my hairdryer's still working after 20 years. I don't need to cash in just because this one has different attachments. That's me. But I'm also somebody who, I don't like to always spend money. And that'll bring me to my next segment. All right. Next topic. Sad news. I think I talked about it some last week. So, if you haven't heard before, when we were on our trip, he got in a wreck with my Highlander, my Toyota Highlander, my little SUV. No one's hurt. We're all good. It just damaged the vehicle. So, I mean, we traveled all the way from Indianapolis home with this, so I thought it would be fine, right? No major engine lights or anything like that. But when they were going in, looking at the repairs and removing, like, it was the front bumper, when they were removing the front bumper that is attached to the frame, they noticed the frame is damaged. And apparently, replacing a frame or repairing a frame is quite expensive. So, the repairs were estimating at that time $24,000. And like, both the car place and the insurance person said, and oftentimes when they're giving that estimate, when all is said and done, it's usually higher, right? Of course. So, sad news. And they were like, it's probably, basically, at least in Texas, I think most of the places, when the repairs are at 80% of the value or more, then they're just going to total. So, yeah. They totaled the car. I'm so sad. Now, there is a way. I looked into it. So, Clark Howard, I know I've talked about him a lot. He has a website. I love his podcast and on YouTube. It's, whether you're a podcaster or a YouTuber, he's on those, same information. But he's really good. I would consider him a consumer advocate. So he's always looking out for us. He always talks about the latest scams that are out there. And then also, anything basically companies are doing that could be harmful to consumers or ripping off consumers, right? He's really good about that. So he has a lot of information, plus he has a staff that if you have questions, you can actually call for free, and they have all these resources because he's been doing this for like 30 years, y'all. So I went on his site and saw about, cars, wrecks with cars, totals, what to do. And so he, was spelling it out. Basically, yes, depending on the damage, you could say, okay, I want a salvage title, and then you could take the car, if it's drivable, to maybe a different, cheaper repair place and just take the money from the insurance and pay to get it repaired and still drive it. And then I read a whole bunch of Reddits on it as well, and a lot of people were like, most people, there was, of course, always exceptions, but most people were like, yeah, once the car had such damage, even after the repairs, it was just never the same. It just never drove the same, or now it had a weird noise all the time, all these different things. So, almost kind of sad. I'm very sad, y'all. Very emotional. But, so I started researching, like Clark Howard was like, okay, here's the 3 main places to figure out what your car is valued at. So, like, one of them is Kelley Blue Book. And you go on there and you could either put in the make and model and, whatever extras you have, or you could just put in your VIN number, and then it, everything's electronic nowadays, and it'll tell you approximately what the car is worth. So it gave me my car range. Now, when I bought this, y'all, this was my car. Like, this is going to be my car forever. Like, I wanted what I wanted forever. I loved it, and I was just going to keep it for all eternity, right? But anyways, so I got all the bells and whistles. Basically, I think the only thing I didn't get was the, the rack to hold, like, canoes and all bikes and all that stuff. I didn't get that added on because I was like, hey, you're never going to use that. But it had a sunroof. If you've been in my car, it had heated seats. It had the captain's seats. It was all leather. It was I was like, they probably saw me coming, but I was just like, yes, give me that. Yeah, give me that. Because I was like, this is my car. Like, I'm going to take such good care of it. I plan to drive this car for easily 20, maybe 30 years. It is a Toyota, so we know they can last. And that was the plan. So I was like, so it's a little more expensive, but if that's the car I'm going to have for the next 20, 30 years, I'm okay with it. So now it's totaled, right? So I looked at the Kelley Blue Book and the others to, figure out, because the insurance, what they do is they take it from the collision center, they take it to their salvage yard. I was like, oh, my poor baby. And then they have a person come out and look at all of the specs that you had and figure out what the car was worth pre-accident. So I had a range, and I'm like, okay, I really, like, I'm looking at the low ball number, because they always give you a range on Kelley Blue Book and all that. And I was like, I see the low number. If I get the low number, I mean, that's still decent. I see, like, the top-notch number, and I'm like, I mean, that would be nice. And so I was just like, okay, well, we'll just see what they come back with, because he also talked on his page about how you can haggle with the insurance to get the payoff amount higher. So I was looking into all that because, I want to get every penny I'm worth. And they came back today with the payout after deductible. And actually it was on the high side. So I could probably haggle, but I'm like, you know what? That's actually pretty good. A lot higher than I was expecting. Like, again, I saw the low number on the estimate. This was on the high side. So I was like, okay, that's really, like, I feel like they're being very fair. In the payoff amount. And so I'm sure that'll take a week or two to get here or whatever. So what I have decided, because I talked it over, Heath's truck, well, I guess it's our truck now. He has a Toyota Tundra, only 14,000 miles, y'all. that is incredible. So I was like, okay, his car is actually on Clark Howard's site. They listed the top 10 cars expected to get to 250,000 miles or more. Toyota Tundra was number one. It was the highest probability of getting that far. So I feel like, okay, we've always gotten our regular routine maintenance done, and we'll continue that. So I'm like, if we really take care of it, I could see this truck easily lasting 10, 20, maybe even 30 years, which would be incredible, right? And it is a good truck, right? I'm just not used to driving a truck, but I'm getting there. Like, I'm feeling more comfortable as I'm driving it, right? So I think with everything going on, I'm going to put the money into my HISA, and I'm going to use part of it to also pay off his truck. I mean, there's only 8 payments left, but I was like, let's just get it done and over with. Pay the truck off. That's one less thing we got to worry about. And then take those monthly payments I was making, and instead I'm going to put half into the sinking HISA fund and then half towards my mortgage. Because it'd be nice to get the mortgage. If I did the numbers right, I should be able to pay off the house in like 5-6 years. So this would definitely help with that. And so just keep doing that and reassess in a couple years and see, okay, in 2 years, do I have enough where I can pay cash for the vehicle of my choosing? I don't want to skimp out. And, the more I'm thinking about it, I don't really want used. I know the depreciation value is crazy, but I've just had so many bad experiences with used vehicles that I just not just don't want to right now. Now in 2 years, maybe my opinion will change. But and I'm saying 2 years, in 2 years we'll just reassess and see, okay, do we need a second vehicle? We've been getting along. Do we need to do that or not? Because, honestly, that would free up a lot of things, not having to pay that. And so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and just put the rest of the funds in the high yield savings and just work towards it. Now I know some people recommend having several different sinking funds, like, a HISA for this, and I have customers who do that, who have like 5 or 6 different HISAs, because they're like, ones will say home fund, car fund, vacation fund. Just put it all in one place. Like, it's all together. Just put it all together, and then it's all in one little place. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I just want it simple and easy. I don't need to have 3 or 4 different sinking funds for different things. Just put it all in one, and it's all there for whatever that might come across. So I feel like just doing that, put in the HISA, and then continue to save, and I think I will feel financially more stable, I guess is the word. I'm trying to think of the word, but basically, I'm not going to be so like, okay, we got a budget, $75 for groceries only this week. I can be like, you know what? No, let's get the grass-fed beef. Like, we can splurge a little more here because we don't have these other things. But I don't want to go crazy. Like, when I was talking to Heath, he was like, oh, let's go on a cruise. And I'm like, okay, sir. No. Like, you don't want to just blow through the money, because it is so easy to blow through money. So I'm like, no, this is how we're going to be smart about it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to pretend like we don't even have this money here, right? We're not going to think, oh, well, we could just dip into that for this and this. Like, no, let's just continue like our savings goals and pretend we didn't even get this money. And our plan basically, you know, because the cars were going to be paid off by the end of this year anyways, and I had already started, you know, okay, for 2026, here's how we're going to change, which was basically I was going to put half into savings and half towards the mortgage. So I'm just doing that a few months earlier. So I'm just going to do that as best we can to like pretend, okay, let's not act like we've got this money in the bank. Like, no, let's just forget that it's there, right? So, yeah, so that's the sad and bittersweet news. Anyways, well, I'm going to get back to work. Thursday night dinner, we have that steakhouse salad mix, and then we added avocado and more bacon bits because they like gave not even a tablespoon. And then what we got, I had to go get the dog food, so we swung by HEB, and I got the flank steak that are pinwheels stuffed with, was this a bacon cream cheese, right?
Yeah.
So there's cream cheese and bacon bits in there, and it's just a little pinwheel, so I thought that'd be good. So I'm going to slice that up and basically have a little steak salad. Right, y'all, I am home with the groceries. Show you what I got. So at Aldi, I thought this was the deal of the day if you like steakums. So this is 15 ounces. Normally they're $4.99. Sometimes I see them $5.99. Today Aldi had them for $3.69 a package. So I grabbed 3 of those, 3 boxes. They're just so easy, especially on nights where you're like, ugh, it's been a long day, I don't want to cook. It's just so versatile. You can make omelets with it, make, of course, Philly cheese bowls. You could do kind of like a spin on egg roll in a bowl, or you just like cook this up and melt some cheese. It's just so versatile and it's quick and easy. So I got those. I thought I might want some more of these cheese fries sometime. And then this could be for the Friday night feast. Some goat cheese. The butter was on sale. The blackberries were $1.45. These Baby Bella mushrooms were $1.29. And then, of course, Heath wanted sweet potatoes and some more onions. And, of course, avocados, jalapenos. And then the tomatoes were $1.99 a container. And Heath freaking loves these tomatoes.
All right.
Really? Well, you know what? I could take them back.
Huh?
They're all right.
Yeah. All right. All right, all right, all right.
Oh my gosh. And then I also got these atomic spicy pickles. Yum. I love this stuff. So that's what I got from Aldi. I'm going to rearrange and I'll show you the stuff from the Heb. Right at the Heb, HEB. So got this. I thought that'd be good for dinner one night. They're just brisket burgers. 25% off. So that'll be perfect. Now, I was excited about this. We love fajitas, and they were on sale for $6.99 a pound. So this inside skirt steak, and it's their natural brand. So I thought that was a goodish deal. And then these are pork tenderloins, only $1.97 a pound. So they were roughly $5 a package, but there's 2. You kind of tell here. There's actually 2 tenders in here. So that's perfect for meal prepping. And then this for our lunch tomorrow. That's actually 2 pieces of salmon in there. And then we've got zucchini and other veggies that we need to use from last week. So I can make a medley to go with it. My lunch today is this. Spinach and Parmesan stuffed salmon with the zucchini, spinach, and tomato side. Then they had their bacon on sale for $4.49 a package. So I got a thick cut and a black pepper. They had this extra virgin olive oil, $5 off. So for the liter, it was $14.98. Is that a good deal, y'all? Let me know. And then I've got more Mexican style sour cream. Of course, I had to get my favorite kombucha, avocado for lunch today. And then I got a couple more salads. I got an avocado ranch. And I think our Tuscan herb is our favorite one. But this avocado ranch we had before, and it was really good. And then, y'all, this is kind of the junk food section. Well, one more thing I got just for me this week are these hard-boiled eggs, and they're already peeled, so I thought that'd be quick and easy for lunches. Maybe have it with the salad. And, of course, our chicharrones were on sale. So here's our junk food. So what we got here, Lily's bars, buy two, got the third for free. So I got 3 of those. I got a box of these Zinc bars. And then Heath wanted these again, so I got the chocolate caramel pecan and the cookies and cream. A couple more things. I got one of these 0 sugar Ready Whips. Thought that will be good to have. And then, of course, you know, I got some more of these donuts that I like. That's another kombucha for me. And then these were on sale at HEB for $3.99 a box. So I got 2 boxes. And then finally, I haven't heard of this brand before. Oh, it is HEB's brand. But it's 0 sugar mint chocolate chip. And if you were on the live, we were talking about mint chocolate chip. And I was like, ooh, I gotta have to. So there's the ingredients. Pause the screen if you want to read it. I'd say overall, it seems pretty clean. You recently buy some of our wonderful seasonings? I hope so. Comment below if you did. And please leave us, a review. We'd love to hear about it. So, what do you do with them? You're like, okay, beef rub, taco seasoning. Well, I'm combining those in these fajitas. So that beef skirt steak, I sprinkled with both our taco and our beef rub. The beef rub is Redmond's real salt, black pepper, a little bit of garlic, and a little bit of brown swerve. And in that order too. So mostly, I think it's like 48% salt, 48% pepper, and then the rest split up between the garlic and the brown swerve. I thought that would just add a little bit of flavor here with the taco seasoning. Kind of make it a little more beefy flavor. And then what I've made is a marinade. And in the marinade is lime juice or lemon, some avocado oil, a little bit of coconut aminos, and I think that's all I did. Oh, what's this here sauce? A keto, what's this here sauce? So mix that, and I'll put it in these bags, and then we'll be having fajitas. I'm excited. I'm going to put one in the freezer, and then one for us to have maybe Tuesday night. I'm not sure yet. Here is my lunch. So that salmon I showed you. Now what I did to the veggies is I added some bacon bits and a little bit of avocado oil. No, I'm sorry, extra virgin olive oil. Now in here there was like a pat of flavored butter, I guess, on the veggies. But, they never put enough of that stuff in here. So I just finished with some extra virgin olive oil. And, of course, bacon makes everything better. And then here's that salmon with the spinach and Parmesan stuffed. Oh, looks so good, y'all. And this meal, I think it was either $7 or $8. So, for a lunch, especially when you think about, fast food nowadays, They're so expensive. So compared to that, this is fairly inexpensive. Now, can I make it cheaper at home? Of course I can. And, divvy everything out and do the stuffing and everything else. Of course you can beat that price. But this is so easy. I just feel like on Saturdays, it's kind of like my treat. Like, it's like, okay, you've been grocery shopping for 4 hours because it always takes that long. So just have something easy for lunch and nutritious. And we try to eat salmon at least one times a week. One times, y'all. One times. Once a week, or sometimes we get it twice a week. I just think salmon's very good for you. So, like, I'm going to be having it twice because I have it for my lunch today. And then I got the other salmon for tomorrow's lunch, I think. And then, of course, I've got that big old avocado I got from HEB. And that is my lunch. Oh, and I'm going to have some of these atomic pickles, y'all. Look how full that is. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to drink some of the pickle juice. Oh, what a shame, right? So, and then, of course, my Dutch. So, hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. I beat the rain, y'all. I'm so happy. So, yes, I beat the rain. Yesterday, it was saying the rain was going to start like around 9. And then last night, it was saying around 10. I was like, oh, that's usually like right in the middle of me grocery shopping. Did I think about getting up early? Of course. Did I do it? No. So, this avocado, not exactly on the right, but I'm still going to eat it. Still a little hard here, y'all. But I was like, no, I still feel like I got up somewhat early. It was like 9 o'clock. Like about 9:20 a.m. Got going and I left. Actually, I guess I did do it pretty quick today, because it's only 1:30 right now. Left, and all I had to do was go to Aldi. So I went to Aldi first, and this is one that I don't go to that often. So I didn't even see the sparkling waters, but this one, oh, the layout's a little weird. So I'm sorry, Caden. I'm going to try on Tuesday. We've already decided there are a couple more things we need from the store. Why? Why does that happen, y'all? Like, seriously. Whoops. It just seems like no matter what, there's always something that you should have got. I love a good avocado, y'all. So, so I'll check a different Aldi and see if I can find any sparkling waters there. But I'm pretty sure they don't have any glass ones, but that'd be nice if they did. So, when I woke up this morning, it was saying, excuse me, that we should get the rain coming in. Now it was saying noon. And I was like, okay. And it was saying, I think 100% at noon. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make the best of it. And it was really nice because I guess a lot of people were like expecting rain. So they weren't out. Like the stores, they were still busy, but not as busy as it has been lately. It feels like lately, like almost like shoulder to shoulder to go grocery shopping. But today, found parking spots so easily. Got in. Everything I just seemed to go fast to get in and out of each store. You saw what I got at the stores. It was nice and easy. I like that, y'all. But yeah, and so when I came out of the grocery store, out of HEB, I guess it was just after noon, because Heath was, like called me in a few minutes because he went to lunch. He always goes to lunch around noon. Sometimes it's a few minutes later, but I went to Dutch. You could feel the air. You could feel the wind was picking up, which I'm going to say, I think my hair's growing on me, but one thing that is aggravating, because it is like short. Like, I can't put it up in a proper ponytail. It looks like a weird ponytail, and I could only do half of it, which I did see this one girl, and her hair was cut similar to mine, and so she just does part of it, like that part, and kind of has it pulled forward, so she has all this in the back kind of there. I was like, oh, that's a cute look. So see, I think that would be cute too, have like a barrette and push it forward. But anyways, so I can't put it all in a ponytail, which, you know, when it's windy out, so all the time, because it's windy, that's what my hair does, just all right there, right in my face, so I can't see anything. And I'm like, get out of... So anyways, yeah, first world problems, right? So it was windy and all, and you could tell it's overcast day, but it was overcast yesterday. Looked through, got home, and I was like, okay, hopefully I get home quick enough. Plus, he was still on his lunch hour, so he was able to help get everything unloaded, which is such a help. So he got everything out of the truck and then unloading everything in here. And y'all, it still hasn't started raining, so that's good news. Hopefully it doesn't hit us tonight when we are going on our date night. So, and I'm still deciding what to wear tonight. I've got it narrowed down to 2. So I'll probably put both on and just see which one I think would be the cutest. And we're going to be going to... Heath made reservations at Jalisco's. So that's the one that does the pork like upside down and then lights it on fire. So I'm super excited, y'all. So yeah, that's what we're going to do, is go hit that tonight for dinner. So I'm sure I'll show you some of that when we're there, and just have like a little date night together. Isn't that nice? So I'm gonna finish my lunch here. I'm sure y'all don't want to watch me chomping on the food, and that can be probably boring, in case you're into the, what is it, the mukbang. That's not really my thing. But anyways, so yes, I will talk to you in a bit. Well, the rain finally happened. It is almost 2:30, y'all, so about an hour after I spoke to you last. And it suddenly broke, what I would say, and raining. You can see it's not too bad. I mean, I'm glad I'm home and I'm not having to deal with this. Because one thing with the truck, feels like when you load a truck, there's not a covered way of doing it. Like my Highlander, you can lift the back, and at least that would be kind of like a little shield for you. But with the truck, you're exposed. But anyways, I am about to have some of those hydroponic strawberries and the Ready Whip. On their special is some ceviche, and this is a snapper ceviche, and I forget what type of ceviche this is, and then there's salsa with it, so I thought this would be perfect just to eat that off of those. At Jalisco's, and here's our entree, which is the al pastor patron, or trombone. So it was on fire. We did a short on it, y'all. Literally sliced it off. And then, of course, we got the panela cheese. And then here's the little side options. Or it's just the different salsas. Lunch, we took some of the leftover of the pork from last night. Y'all, there is so much. We're going to easily get it. We have enough left over now for our lunch tomorrow as well. So that's pretty good, getting, was that 2, 4, 6 meals out of last night? But anyways, what I did is I added a bag of cauli rice. And of course I added some jalapeno. But everything else, the meat and the onions, mixed all together, cooked in with the rice. And that's how you make it stretch a little further. And Sunday night, we're having that salmon. So that I picked up the twin pack with the garlic pesto sauce on top, and then what we're serving it on top of is kind of just a vegetable medley. So zucchini, onion, mushrooms, jalapenos, bell peppers, And we just roasted those with some of that Amish butter and then added tomatoes at the end. And then I've got half an avocado here. And that's my dinner tonight, y'all. Day lunch is the leftover mix of that pork al pastor, so cauli rice, veggies, and then, I added onions and cilantro, some sour cream, and then I've got an avocado on the side, and then those hydroponic strawberries, a couple of blackberries, or 4 blackberries, and some of that sugar-free heavy cream, and then probably we'll finish this off, the Meyer Lemon Kombucha by Buddha's Brew, but if you look, like it's hard to see, but it's like maybe 1/4 of the bottle is left, so I'll probably finish that, and then, if I'm still hungry, I have one of these bars. Tonight's dinner is a burger salad, so I took that burger patty I got on discount, topped it with some Gouda cheese, and put it on one of those salad mixes, and that's what I've got. Well, y'all, it is Tuesday, and I just went to the insurance office, and they gave me a check, so it's official. My little baby's gone, and I don't think my husband's in the car. I think he's still in the restroom. Alright, let me message him, and now we're going to go to the bank, and we have a few other stops to make. Well, we're stopping for lunch today. Heath, tell everybody what we've been doing.
Furniture shopping. We were supposed to record on the way there, and then possibly while we were there, and we just both spaced about it.
Well, we
Obviously,
had a very
this is a common theme.
Yeah, well, we had a very chatty salesperson.
Yeah.
Remember, he was telling us all about his dogs.
Yes. But we had honestly said the night before we were discussing this, we weren't going to buy anything today. But we found out that they have a discontinued line and they're 20% off, so we went ahead and jumped
extra
on it.
20.
Yeah, an extra 20% off, so we
Yeah.
jumped on it. So, coming soon, you'll be seeing pictures of our new couch. Or maybe even video too.
Right? So, yeah, that's what we've been doing today. Alright, here's my main meal. I got the bacon wrapped Marines filet, 6 ounce. Now this is on the lunch menu. It came with a salad. I think I forgot to record, but anyways, I also got a sweet potato loaded like a baked potato. And yeah, that's my lunch today. And then I think we're still trying to decide what we're having for dinner.
No, we decided.
No, we decided, y'all.
I think.
Stay tuned. Dinner tonight, we want something quick and easy, so we have Pernell sausage, and we've got eggs, so we're just going to make the sausage and eggs, and we'll probably do like scrambled eggs, and then probably put some cheese and maybe some sour cream on there, and yeah, so that's going to be our dinner tonight. And I'm just going to record my outro, and then we will be done for the week, y'all. So, it is 7:30, y'all. We're still making dinner. I felt like we did have a late lunch, basically going from 8 a.m. until we got home, I think roughly 3 p.m., 3:30. So, literally going all day. And so we're just having something kind of light, just sausage and eggs for dinner. Neither one of us wanted to cook too much, and we didn't want anything real heavy, and so that's why we're like, let's just do that. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. Caden, I am sorry. I'm not finding any sparkling glass bottles at the Aldi's here, so if I do find them, I'll definitely let you know, but I'm guessing they just don't carry the glass ones. I found some in aluminum cans. I'm not a huge fan of sparkling water in cans. And of course, the plastic ones. I will say, if you're okay with the plastic ones, the green Italian sparkling waters that Aldi has. I think they're like $4 something for a 6-pack. Those are pretty good. I would say that would be, like, if I don't have glass available or I just don't want to spend that kind of money, you know, which is basically over double that cost, then I will just get those. So, yeah, another week, y'all. I hope you're having a wonderful week this week. And stay tuned. I know we talked about, Heath said on here about getting a couch. We might have changed our minds. We haven't paid for anything yet. So then we're doing more research. You know, I got to research everything before I make a decision. So we're still looking. We found this online company called Dream Sofa. Is that right? Dream Sofa? Yes. And it sounds really cool. Like, you build everything. They have top-notch reviews from different review companies. And then I was looking at Bassett furniture. They're very pricey. I just want to find something that's going to last another 20 years like this one. But, like, buy it for life. That's what I look for. And I'm just, I'm very picky. I do prefer leather. The only thing is Dream Sofa does not carry leather. So we shall see. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And if you watched it to here, make sure you give me a huge thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell notifications, y'all. Have a wonderful week again. And I will talk to you next week.